Gotta stop him.
There's always more to the story.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
And there's always more to say.
Don't ever bring that nonsense in here again.
When going too far feels closer.
Maybe I overdid it.
This space thrives on the restricted. This is the Restricted Area with Robert Guerra.
Yes, sir. The latest edition of the Restricted Area podcast with me, Robert Guerra. Rob G, if you're nasty, coming to you live from sunny Southern California. Today, we got a very special guest. Fox Sports Radio's own, the very lovely, the very talented Monse Bolanos. What's up, Monse?
Hi, I'm so excited that you asked me to do this. I was very honored, and I was like, absolutely. Whenever you want me, I will be here with you talking all things, especially the Clippers, as I'm repping already, because I think we're going to, if we don't talk about the Clippers, then I don't want to do this.
Okay. And I like that you made a point to go to the location with the better Wi-Fi. I really appreciate that.
I got you. Better Wi-Fi, better lighting. You know, I cared about this. Literally, I have a giant window in front of me. So this is all natural lighting.
Perfect.
You can't fake natural lighting. You can't.
That's true.
It's
That's
impossible.
true.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we're going to get some Clipper stuff. We're going to get to some Dodger stuff, maybe even some Charger stuff. I know those are your teams, so we'll have fun with that. But before we do, I want to give people a background as to who you are and what you're about, just quickly, okay? Now, if you don't listen to Fox Sports Radio, then you might not know that Monse's like one of the aunties of Fox Sports Radio. Like, she'll buy breakfast for people. She remembers birthdays, like you and Bree get cards for people, the going away presents, all that stuff, right? And to your credit, when you get dinner during the week, you always ask me if I want anything.
I do.
How often do I say yes to you?
Hardly ever.
Okay. With that in mind, I've only offered to buy you food like 3 or 4 times ever, and you've always said yes. So can you explain what's going on there?
Yeah, because I like food. Like if we're keeping it 100, is I like food. You are just in a position, I don't know what it is. I have the mentality of a little fat kid. Like I want to eat, and as I'm eating, I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat next. So when you offer me food, I'm like, sure. But I've always told you, you don't have to. You never have to buy me food. But every time you graciously ask, I graciously say yes. Because I also find it rude when people say no. Like when you tell me no, I don't like that. Okay. Men don't tell me no, Rob G.
Wow.
And here you are telling me no when I'm trying to feed you. As you said, I try to feed everybody. Nobody should be hangry at work. I don't want to deal with that. And you just are too good for it. You're just too good for it. I am not.
Okay. That's a fair answer. Quickly, I'm going to Vegas this weekend. Do you want me to look for your phone? You know, because I know you lost
No,
it.
I have it. I have it.
The original one or a new one?
Both.
Wow. That never happens. Usually when it's lost in the Vegas streets, it's gone forever.
No, not this one. I don't know what happened, but like I had to buy a new one. They sent it back to me. They charged me. I had to pay for it.
Wow.
They sent it back to me. And now I have 2 phones, and I don't know what to do. Like I've had some people at the Dodgers ask me like, oh, are you going to sell that phone? Because like I could use a new phone. And then I thought maybe I should keep it since I lose shit all the time. So maybe I should keep it instead of selling it. And then I have this weird selling it to someone I know. It's like, I don't know what to sell a phone for. It's an iPhone 15. It's pink. It's in pretty damn good condition because I've always had a cover and a screen protector on it. And so I looked up like, what does this sell for? And then the internet told me anywhere from like $370 to like even $500. And so people who are asking me at the Dodgers, I had like 3 different people ask me about, hey, I would buy your phone if you don't want it. How much would you sell it for? I feel weird. Like, okay, I think I'm supposed to give you a deal, but I don't know what that deal is. And then what if the phone doesn't work? And then you have to see me at work. Like, I feel like it's an awkward sell to someone I work with, right? Like I shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was trying to sell my Peloton for like 3 years. Couldn't sell it, right? Because people kept dropping the price once COVID was over. I had to just give it away to a family member because I felt weird selling it to them. I'm like, you know, it's old. It's been in my garage. I know it's been covered, but you can just have it. As far as she hasn't used it either. So
that's a tough one to give away. Like I told my mom, I was like, Mom, you want my new phone? Because she's got some Droid and it's like falling apart, but she refuses to use an iPhone. She says it's complicated.
It is complicated.
No, it's not.
It is. I held for so long, and then my wife just bought it. She's like, you're going to learn how to use this because the rest of us have one. And then she doesn't like getting the green bubbles at the time.
Did you? I mean, honestly, the green bubbles are like the worst thing ever.
I know now it is. It's like an embarrassment if you have the green bubble.
I literally keep people out of group texts and I'll send you separate texts to tell them what it is in the group because I'm just like, I don't want your green bubble here, bro. I can't have it.
That's big facts. All right. Before we get to sports, one question for you, like more of a serious question.
Oh.
So when I first got into sports media, like I think I was in college and I interned or I tried to get an internship at Fox College Sports, which doesn't even exist anymore, right? And they're like, hey, what do you want to do with your career? I'm like, I'd love to be on air. I think that'd be great. That was when I really wanted to do it. And the person, no joke, told me, well, yeah, no, Telemundo was like always hiring. And I was like, well, I don't even like soccer, bro. And like my Spanish is terrible at best. Like, so it was never really an option to me up until recently to host. It was always like, okay, well, I guess we'll production route. What's it like for you as a Latina, as a woman, to break into this space? Because you're doing huge things with Fox, obviously.
Yeah. I have been trying to get into this space, Raji, for as long as I can remember. I've played sports my whole life, and then I quickly realized I was going to stop growing very fast, and then I wasn't going to be able to go play. Like when I was little, I was like, I would be the first girl in the NBA. You what? Like that's how good. I used to play with my brothers. I used to like only play with boys, and then I stopped growing really, really fast. And I was like, okay, this is not going to go the way I thought. How can I still work in sports? Like that so quickly early on in my career, I was like, I want to work in sports in some way, shape, and form, whether it's covering a team, whether it's working on a network. And so I went to college with that expectation, and I studied and I did communications. I interned along the way for the Clippers, CBS Sports Central, UCLA, doing Rivals content. Like I did all of the stuff. My way here was very typical, as in I tried to do a lot of different work for free. I worked for free a lot along the way to get experience. And it was a very scenic route. I took a lot of turns that led me nowhere. I opened a few doors that opened another door that then shut the door on me. Mm-hmm. And I kept applying. I kept trying. I kept going. And one day I applied for an iHeartMedia radio gig, not even knowing what exactly it was. It was just like sports updates. I was like, I could do that. What are you talking about? I can just give you an update on sports right now.
Right.
And
it's on my phone. It's right here. I can see it. It's right there. I just show it to you.
Right here. Yeah. And that door opened, and it's been the biggest door that has opened in my career. And it's been so incredible, so awesome. I love Fox Sports Radio. I love you, and I love everybody I work with. I'm so lucky that I come into work and I am happy and I enjoy it. And I know like we're all always like, oh, we're all so tired. We're all so tired. Everyone is like, that's life. Sure. I don't know if I'm ever not going to be tired.
Right.
But I'm so grateful and lucky that I never gave up. And I'll do a quick story here. It was the year that the Super Bowl was here in LA, 2021.
The COVID one. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm working at the Dodgers. Alana Rizzo comes in. She's already gone. She's no longer the Dodgers sideline reporter, but we were doing this event for the Super Bowl. It was like people bought these packages and these experiences. And one of them was coming to Dodger Stadium, and you got to, hit in the batting cages, do all the fun stuff. Nice. And then we had Alana Rizzo there. And like, I can't remember who the former player was because it didn't matter at the time for me. So I'm talking to Alana Rizzo, and she knew me because I was a tour guide there for so many years. So we would always like have quick chit chats. And I say to her, I'm like, girl, I am at a wit's end. Like I am applying to jobs that are below me, like entry level, like production assistant jobs. Like I can't even get my foot in the door to get an interview on a job that I feel like I'm overqualified for. Right. And she was like, well, where are you applying? And I was like, everywhere. And she's like, really? Everywhere? And I was like, yes. And she's like, what is the most obscure place you've applied to? And I was like, Denver? She's like, no, girl. You've got to apply to like Wichita, Texas. Yeah. And I was like, no, Alana, here's the thing. I have a dog. At this point, I had a dog that I was like, I can't take him with me. He's a 3-legged, 90-pound pit bull. She's like, you could take him with you. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And she was like, send me your resume. We're going to figure this out. We're going to tighten it up, and we're going to figure it out. No joke, Raji. The Monday after the Super Bowl, I am driving back from San Diego because I went to watch the Super Bowl with my brother. And I'm driving back, and I get an email from Dan Byer. Hey, you applied for a job a couple of weeks ago. Are you still interested? And I was like, oh, what? Like literally, I had just had this conversation with Alana Rizzo that I immediately had to send her a message. I was like, girl, I don't think we need to revamp my resume.
It happened.
But I didn't do this and we're good. And so here we are.
Okay. Well, speaking of Dan, just quickly, like you obviously work very hard. You applied a lot of places. You try to broaden your skill set, right? But you know, and I know, and anyone who works in media at all knows, you can grind your ass off, but if you don't have like one person or one lucky break or something that goes your way, it doesn't always get to as high as you want to go. Was Dan giving you the opportunity to maybe co-host with him, or who was the person that put you in front of the camera, in front of the microphone in a different setting?
No, it was Dan. Dan from the beginning, and it all started. He gave me a segment on his Sunday show called "According to Monse," and I was like,
your name and everything.
The whole thing, according to Monse, and I still do it. It's so fun. It's just 3 takes, quick, fast takes that I have, and it started with that. And then from that, it became you should maybe do this little segment, not knowing what his intention was. And then when it was like, is this something you want to do? I was like, yeah, I would love to. And then I filled in on a show with Dan, and that was literally like how it all started. So you're right. Like you have to, I hate being like cliche with like, what advice do you have? You have to keep trying, and it's opportunity and luck and preparation meet at the same time.
All at the same time, right?
All at the same, and like you never know when that's going to happen. In fact, I remember one time I spoke to a guy years ago. I was at a bar, a little tipsy, and I was talking to a guy who worked for Extra, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody told him like, you need to talk to her. She's great. You would love her for Extra. Like, da, da, da. And he's like, oh yeah. And then I'm tipsy. And then he starts to ask me sports questions. And he asked me he was like, who's on the Lakers roster? And at this time I was like, nobody before. And in my head, I thought it was like, man, I always thought that was a missed opportunity because I was not prepared. I wasn't expecting that. Sure. But I also I was a little bit tipsy, but I do felt like if I would have said to that guy, oh, you want to know who's on the Lakers? X, Y, Z, and this guy. And he would have been like, oh, but instead I didn't have an answer. I always feel like that was a missed opportunity for something. Just even it was just to keep in contact with this man. Sure. He ran Extra at Universal Studios. And so it's just like, I was like, damn it. How did I, but you just never know. You just really never know when that moment with opportunity and luck and preparation are going to come together, and you just kind of have to be ready. And it sucks, but I had the opportunity. I had the moment, I had the luck, and I had the preparation at the right time when it came to Fox Sports Radio. So.
And now you're going to have even more opportunities because you're on this podcast, right?
That's right. Yes.
All right, let's switch over to baseball. Big news of the week: Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers. He was good, not great in his debut. You work for the Dodgers, so I don't know if there's a conflict of interest. Do you think they're ruining baseball?
No, I don't think they're ruining baseball, but I understand the frustration from every other fan, especially if you're a fan of the Rockies, Pirates, Orioles, Marlins. Like, I understand the frustration. Angels. Like, if I was not a fan of the Dodgers, if I was not there for over a decade, seeing the amount of moves that they have made over the years, it takes 2 to tango, Raji. It's not just the Dodgers. The Dodgers have been doing this for like a decade at this point, trying to bring in stars. They brought in Manny Machado. He didn't stick around. They brought in Max Scherzer. He didn't stick around. They brought in Trey Turner. He didn't stick around. Sometimes they don't stick around. And then there's others that do stick around. But all of these moves were made because somebody else agreed to it. So it takes 2 to tango. And the Dodgers have the means. I understand that. Not every team has the means. So I really do get the frustration. I sympathize very little because I'm a Dodgers fan and I work for them, and I see what they're trying to do. And it's they develop players that other teams become interested in prospects. And, prospects could be suspects, but hey, it's the Dodgers, and like people have trust in them. So it's like, it takes years to do this. This didn't just happen overnight. And obviously getting Shohei Ohtani, bringing in then Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki, which everyone's like, well, they only went because Ohtani went there. Maybe, but Murakami didn't do that. Murakami chose
Right.
to go to the White Sox. So like people have choices, and like it can frustrate you. And I understand the frustration, but they're not ruining baseball. And if anything, they're going to fix it. Because isn't the complaint this gap between payrolls? Well, this is going to force something to happen.
Right.
There needs to be a floor. You can't have a floor without a cap. And I'm fully aware of that. So like the floor is going to happen. There's probably going to be a cap because you can't have one without the other. But if everyone's complaining about this, well, this is going to lead to it. So if anything, they're going to fix it. We're just taking the scenic route.
Yeah. And then you got other teams like the Mets, like the Padres, they pay big money for stars. But the difference between them and the Dodgers is the Dodgers paid for the right stars, right? Like nothing against Juan Soto. He's a great player, but he doesn't have the intangibles that help your team win, right? Look at the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, the acquisition, and Freddie Freeman. Both of those guys, you talk to people around the team, and you probably knows better than anybody. They're saying not only are they great players, they're great leaders. They're great locker room guys. They're guys who understand what it takes to win, the sacrifices, and so on and so forth. And that's a big deal in sports that people don't seem to understand, because if it was just about money, then the Mets and the Yankees would have won the last 10 World Series. But they pick and chose poorly. The Yankees didn't want to make Yamamoto more highly paid than Garrett Cole. So he's like, all right, I'm not going there. I'm going to go to the Dodgers. Right. And then the Ohtani situation, the Angels had him for like a decade and couldn't do anything with it because they didn't know how to build around him.
Or they didn't want to.
Or didn't want to. Right. And then here's the other thing is I maintain, I don't know if this is a minority opinion, but the Dodgers needed Tarek Skubal because Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow have only pitched, I think, 8 starts combined this season. Ohtani may or may not pitch at all again because of his knee, and I think it's his bicep. So he's all jacked up. The Dodgers have lost 5 straight, so they're not like invincible. Do you think that they may have needed Skubal just as much as, people? They're not like they just wanted him, like they actually needed him for their roster.
I think there's some belief that maybe they needed him more than I thought. I think Blake Snell is like, yeah, I'll be back in August. I'll ramp up.
Load management.
Like, honestly, I think with Blake Snell specifically, I think there's a luxury that obviously the Dodgers have, that they do have all of these other players that they can plug in, especially on the bump on the mound with these, prospects that we have that the Dodgers have the luxury of trying out. I do think Blake Snell is waiting for the right opportunity to get in there. With Tyler Glasnow, you're right. Tyler Glasnow has a history of injuries. This isn't new. It's with Tampa Bay. It's a history of injuries. And so it would be a player I can't necessarily count on right now to be there. And so I hear what you're saying, but in reality, like every team is one injury away from not being as strong. So anyone could say they could have added and needed Tarek Skubal. So I don't know if the Dodgers needed Tarek Skubal, but I hear what you're saying, especially with what happened the last 2 years. Like it was 2 years where the first World Series, literally like the bullpen was awful. Then last year, the bullpen was the savior of it. And the Blue Jays, who at the start of the World Series, it was like, oh, that's cute. It's not even going to be close. Dodgers are going to win. A lot of people thought that. They were a toe away from
Dodgers were
winning.
lucky.
They
got
were
lucky.
a ball away from being stuck in the wall, away from winning. Like they were so close. And when we think about Miguel Rojas being the freaking hero, it's like so many things had to go the right way for the Dodgers to win last year. And so I think teams feel like they're close to beating them, but then they get Tarek Skubal and it's like, damn it. Like we felt close, but you just got stronger. Even though you may not need him, you literally just got stronger. So I don't know.
All right, we'll switch over to basketball. Your Clippers. Why? That's the only question. Why are you a Clippers fan? Like you've lived in the LA area, I'm assuming your whole life, right?
Yeah.
Like, or basically.
Yeah.
Why? Like could have the good teams right there.
I don't know. Do you want me to ask my dad? I don't know. Like I grew up a Clippers fan. Like I don't even know like how it was decided because I was so little. But I think it was a mixture of things of, my family were immigrants from Costa Rica. I was born in Costa Rica, but you're right. I'm a Cali girl. I've been here since I was 3 years old. But I think it was a mixture of rooting for the underdog because my brothers are 10 years and 8 years older than me, so they were teens when they came, right?
Okay.
Maybe rooting for the underdog because they felt like underdogs. Also, like affordable tickets. You could have gone to a Clipper game for under $10 for like years and years. And so I think it was a mixture of that, even though, it was you had a winning team here to cheer for. But I'll ask, but I really think it was just the accessibility of the underdog team was easier to root for when you don't have a lot of money as a family. And you're a big sports family and you love basketball. Like my family loves basketball. We all do. It is probably our biggest sport as a family. Not everybody loves soccer here, but a lot of us do. Not everybody loves football. I do. Not everybody loves baseball. I do. Like, what I'm saying? Like my family in baseball are like, yeah, go Dodgers. Who's that? We know Ohtani, but who's that guy?
Right.
Oh, that's Freddie Freeman, mom. Got it. So I think it was a little bit of that. But let me tell you, being a Clippers fan has been rough, but man, has it been fun. And I see other fan bases in other sports where it's only rough. That's it. There is no fun. Right. It has been fun being a Clippers fan. It goes up and down, but it'll be great if and when they go to the NBA.
Okay.
I will go bankrupt to be at that game.
Sure. I mean, you went bankrupt for a Taylor Swift concert. So
Show did. I do it again.
All right. So the Kawhi scandal. Did they do it?
Probably.
Do you think objectively, you think they did it?
I think they did. I think they did stuff that everybody does. Like,
oh God, that's such a cop out.
I'm being serious.
Y'all cheated and you got caught.
No, I'm not telling you that they didn't do it, but I also feel like if there's the smoking gun, Pablo Torre, is that his name? I don't even know his name.
Pablo Torre,
Okay, if there's a smoking gun, why is this still in the middle? Why are we still here figuring it out when your boy Adam Silver says this can go into 2027? What the hell? I thought there was a smoking gun here. I thought this was obvious. And so that's where I'm confused because I do think that Kawhi is guilty. And I feel like this is a simple solution. Just suspend Kawhi for half of the season because Toronto will gladly take him for the second half of the season. And he will be nice and healthy. So
load managed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just do it. That's where I'm confused about it. Like Adam Silver's, he's been the laughing stock for years now. But at this point, it's like, my guy, you are becoming worse than Rob Manfred. And that is saying something. Like how can you not make a decision on this? I think everyone just make a decision. It's also the Clippers and the Raptors. Like nobody cares about this. So why don't you just make a decision and everybody will move on? You know, like it makes no sense to me.
If this was any other superstar than Kawhi Leonard, this would be a bigger story.
I know.
But he doesn't talk. He doesn't say, like, I joke around, like, it's like making fun of a kid in a wheelchair. Like you feel bad about it because he's not going to defend himself. He's just going to, and then kind of move on. Like he doesn't do anything or say anything out of pocket. The worst stuff you hear about is from his uncle Dennis. And that's only in like articles. It's never on camera. It's never in a podcast. So it's just weird, like to poke at Kawhi because he's like a mute. He doesn't say anything.
He gets suspended, he'd probably be like, yeah, I guess I'm suspended.
Okay.
I guess I'm suspended, but I'll be ready to go when I can come back.
Exactly. All right. So ESPN reported last week before LeBron James signed with the Sixers, he had an offer on the table from the Clippers. And the selling point was, hey, you can still live at home. We're right down the street. Would you have been good with that?
No, I would not have been good with that. It's funny because I kept saying, I was like, I know the Clippers are not listed on the teams. Like when the whiteboard happened and like, oh, these are the 4 or 5 teams. I was talking to my brothers and I was like, I'm scared because I know it's not being put out there, but I do think that there's a real chance he can go to the Clippers because of LA, because he can stick around. And also like the Clippers with the whole thing with like Kawhi Leonard, it was like the Clippers are it would be an easy season for LeBron. Like him picking the 76ers is shocking to me because he opened the door for all criticism possible. It doesn't matter. Like now eyes are on you, baby. And it's going to go bad if it doesn't go well. any other team he would have picked, the criticism would have been down. With the Warriors, you weren't going to contend. It would have been fun to watch.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
It would have been super fun, but nobody was expecting you to do anything. With Miami, it would have been like, oh, he went back to Miami. Okay, because no one's really figuring out how Miami is going to work. They don't have a point guard. He could have been their point guard. He could have gone to Cleveland, and it would have been like, oh, he went home. The criticism would have been at minimal because it made sense to go to those teams without any expectation. Now he goes to the 76ers, a lot of expectation. So I thought the Clippers were a very sneaky but real location for LeBron to go to. But when I heard this, I just was like, I don't know if this is true because, again, Rich Paul has given me every story under the sun. He would have been a Knick if they didn't win. Okay. He would have gone here if this didn't happen. I don't know how much truth there is to it. I would not have liked that for the Clippers because he comes with so much. It's good for a team, but he comes with so much attention and so many other things where it's like, if the Clippers were going to move on from Kawhi and turn the page, bringing LeBron James would not have turned a page. We would have actually gone to another chapter.
It would have been worse.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We would have started from the beginning. We'd have went back to the beginning.
Would have been back to another book, and we would have been like, what are we doing here? Deja vu, you know? So that's why I would not have liked it because it seems like the Clippers are trying to turn over a new leaf, trying to start new things over here. And if LeBron James would have been there, it would have been rough to do that. And then I would have freaking had to buy a jersey. And I don't want a LeBron James jersey, but I would have done it. I would have done it.
Okay.
Maybe a shirt.
Maybe. All right. Switch. So you're a Chargers fan. You're one of the few here in LA, right?
Yes.
You root for the wildest teams, by the way.
At least I'm consistent.
Can we have a conversation about Justin Herbert? Like, he looks good. He's got all the skills. He's got pretty hair. He's tall. He's handsome. He's got a strong jaw. He's muscular.
Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he does. He just got engaged. Good on him. The pictures of him stretching and she's playing with his hair. I don't know if that's appropriate. Like, you're there to work, buddy. But like in the playoffs, hasn't won. 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 13 sacks. Like, and what am I missing with Justin Herbert?
Yeah, no, you're not missing anything. I think it's just he passes the eye test a lot of times, but then you get, and I mean the eye test of like the form, there's moments where you're like, oh my God, this guy is so good. You see it. And I feel like seeing it, we don't want to believe that maybe he's not more than what he has shown us. Like, he has had some really bad games, especially in the postseason. It just has been underwhelming. And it feels like whenever there's pressure, he's underwhelming. And I don't know if it has to do with coaching maybe a little bit. Obviously, Harbaugh now in the mix. And now I'm blanking on the offensive coordinator.
Mike McDaniel.
Thank you so much. Maybe I could dress up as him for Halloween because we wear the same clothes. I feel like I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm like, yes, this is the year we're going to do it. But I would not sell Charger stock to anyone. I would not sell it to anyone. Myself, I'm going to keep my stock. But if you have stock in the Chargers and then Justin Herbert, I don't know if I could convince you to keep it. I don't know.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, did I say that right? It's like, I'm not trying to sell Chargers on anyone because I don't know I don't know if my belief in them comes strictly because I'm a fan and I want him to do well. When in reality, it's like, I don't know if you can contend with the top teams. I don't know. I haven't seen you do it. And yet, even though you give me these like moments where I see it, like, and I think that's what it is. I think he passes the eye test for so many people, but then falls flat in the most important moments and has not done anything for many. Like, he's been in the league for so many years at this point. You're not new. You're not new. You should be able to do more. And so it's a tough conversation, and I hate it because he's still, like, a lot of, people love Justin Herbert and they rate him so high, and everybody wonders why. And it's like, I'm telling you, I think they just see him and they're like, he looks good.
He looks like a quarterback. Like, would I draw up a quarterback? He's 6'5", he's 230, he's muscular, he can run, he can throw from any angle. The ball, when he comes out of his hand, is like a perfect
looks pretty.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, but what, something's missing. I don't get it.
Something is missing. And this whole stuff with Madison Beer, like, it's so cute and it's adorable and all, but I'm with you. I've seen some videos and I'm like, it's training camp. Get your head in the game.
Yeah.
Get your head in the game right now. What are you doing?
We got a division to win, buddy.
We got a division to win, and it's not an easy one. It is not an easy division. And
that's why I'm so conflicted, because like my Raiders obviously are not good. I don't think that the Broncos are great, because I don't think Bo Nix and Sean Payton are on the same page. I think there's like the little snipes through the media through each other. And Patrick Mahomes got a broken knee, right? So he probably won't be himself until second half of the season. So I'm picking the Chargers to win the division. And it's like, I don't even believe in them like that, but it's like process of elimination. I have no choice but to go with them. And it's like, I'm gonna look stupid because I know I'm gonna look stupid, but I can't with the good conscience pick anybody else. And so it's just frustrating.
How can you not pick Denver? I just had this conversation, I don't know with who, and I was like, I feel like we do this a lot. When teams get to the finals, it's like the Indiana Pacers, right? After they got to the NBA Finals, it was like, no, that was a fluke. They should have never been there. I feel like we do that a lot with teams that make a run, and you're like, that wasn't it. With Denver, I feel like the disrespect with Denver is that because there's no reason for you to not pick Denver. There's no real reason. You're saying that they don't get along, but in reality, we've seen players not get along, or coaches and players not get along, and they have success. They were a broken ankle away from possibly winning the Super Bowl. Okay, maybe going to the Super Bowl, at least that. I don't know how you don't. I feel like it's such an easy right now without the season starting. The easy answer is Denver wins the division. And I'm saying that.
They were also an overturned 40-yard completion by Josh Allen from losing in the divisional round.
They sure were. But I feel like Bo Nix I agree. I don't think Bo Nix is great. And here we put Justin Herbert on that team. all of a sudden it's changing. Right. And so it's like, but Bo Nix is in a position where he can win. I feel like his team is good enough to win with him. And there's no reason for me to not say that now when their season ended abruptly and obviously not the way anyone planned. So I feel like that's the easy answer. That's like the logical answer. I hope you're right. I hope it's hard. I do. But I think the Chargers will be fighting for a wild card spot, to be honest. And I know. Did you see that video of Patrick Mahomes throwing that dart at his lineman?
To the back of his lineman's head?
Oh, that was so good. And I understand, like, he just came out of a major injury. But there's also, I feel like, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, I feel like they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot, too. I know your Raiders, there's nothing to expect with the Raiders because of all the newness, all the new stuff that is coming to Las Vegas. But I think like the Raiders season can be fun. Like you're right. Like I don't expect them to win the division, but I feel like they could be better than people are maybe expecting them to be. And I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see what Fernando Mendoza can do out there. Like you know what I'm saying? He seems like a really goofy, fun dude that wants to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to be on the sideline having a girl play with his hair.
He's not Justin Herbert. He's not all the measurables, all the looks. Like he doesn't look like a franchise quarterback, but
not at all.
Whatever he lacks, like in raw talent, you think he has like the work ethic and, between the ears kind of thing. I just wish that because my team sucks, that the tickets would be cheaper, and it just doesn't work out that way. Like it's cheaper for me to watch them here in LA than to go watch them in Vegas.
Yeah, it's crazy because the boyfriend and I were thinking about going to a Raiders game because we want to go into Allegiant Stadium. Like it looks so freaking awesome from the outside. It looks like just so incredible. And because you could see it like so closely right off the freeway, it looks really, really awesome, right? And we've looked into it and it is so expensive. And you're just like, why?
Right.
It's crazy. But maybe we should plan a trip and just, hey, we could go bankrupt for a bit.
You know what we could do? Something you don't do enough of. We can name drop somebody and try to get tickets for the price of on the house.
Let's name drop. Who are we name dropping?
Anybody.
Rob Parker. Rob and Kerry Rhodes.
Kerry Rhodes.
Kerry Rhodes.
Yeah, anybody we know who played football in the NFL.
Hey, no, you know who he is. Yeah.
Right. All right. Her name is Monse Bolanos, Fox Sports Radio. Are you still doing the Dodger Zone podcast?
We are not. We
Good,
are
good.
not. We've all
I hate
gotten
that
just
podcast.
so busy with all the things. Ryan Bershinger moving on, leaving us to go produce elsewhere.
Yeah,
Bo
I'm
Benson,
glad it's dead.
new baby at home. Like it just was difficult to make 3 schedules work. Believe it or not, it's hard.
No, screw
It's
your
hard.
podcast. That podcast sucked because I asked to go on that show like 7 times.
Who
Not
did you
once.
ask?
Bo.
You didn't ask
Ryan.
me.
They said you wouldn't have said yes anyways. They're like, you don't even like baseball. And I was like, when has that been a problem?
Oh,
could give
I
you
was
5
never
minutes.
asked. Just so you know, I would have had your back and I would have brought you on and we Latinos would have stayed together. We would have done the show in Spanish. Or I would have, and you would have nodded.
I would have nodded.
You would have nodded. See.
That's
See.
right. That's right. All right. If you like Monse Bolanos, check out her weekend show on Fox Sports Radio. And if you want to hear more of her and I together, we're going to be hosting Fox Sports Radio next week on Thursday and Friday. So if you like it, tune in. If you didn't like it, still tune in, right? We can use ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us who you like, who you don't like. We appreciate it.
That's right. It is the restricted area with me, Robert Garrett, Recliner Media. Check out all the content on YouTube. Until next time, peace out.
Bye.